You can see this device is trying to cover for it. So I'm using the new device to make calls since my devices keep glitching. Dart Police, you see that it's covering for it. You see they cut the Wi-Fi off, the data. Knowing full blown well, nobody would believe my story. So I can't use this phone. So I said I'm going to make phone calls with this phone. This is what's been happening years trying to flee. So then they cut the data off this phone, so I can't use this phone, and then my tablet barely works. All issues with all three devices trying to flee and get accountability for people that repeatedly violate the justice system.
Available 2499.
I'm calling the police. It was all kind of scams to keep me from dialing it. So it glitched until I got my device with this number right here. It glitched my tablet. I have multiple different devices glitching. So this device right here glitched, and this device right here. So this device glitched, and then I got up this number and it wouldn't let me call it. Let me try to call it again.
The phone number you just dialed is available 2499.
If someone states the government is controlling my phone in malice to not get felonies, that's clear-cut mentally ill. If someone says the government is so sadistic and sick, they're enlisting people in my environments to be accomplices to gaslighting them and framing them with mental illness, including churches and family members. And at mental hospitals, you know that the government is not that sick. Because if the government got to a point in time to behave like that, you know full-blown well someone would govern these government officials that are out of control and seem to be mentally unbalanced. Everyone knows that's a really big alibi. Because if someone would have reported the government being self-destructing in front of them, surely someone for 10 years had integrity to not let someone come in someone's apartment and lock them out on the second floor of a balcony. You know that could not happen for 10 years. If someone is torturing someone's family to lie and slander them and call them and start arguments, how toxic is that for both parties? You know someone would have been arrested for that a long time ago. You know this. If someone states someone is repeatedly controlling my devices to keep me in abuse, you know that's not realistic.
The phone number you just dialed is available 2499.
This is a phone call. That I've heard. It's glitching. It's not supposed to act like this. I can't upload the video of people incriminating themselves. It's glitching. It's not made for kids. This is not how I said that someone alters these web pages for conflict and my phone calls. This is criminal. The Bible app didn't glitch on its own. Someone was behind it. If someone's reporting that someone is indeed altering these web pages, though, that's federal charges. I'm not quite certain on why my device don't want you to see it. If someone's stating that someone's controlling too much word for word of what's happening, you know that's not realistic. It's glitching. If someone controlling my YouTube in malice defrauds me out of funds. Hacking all my accounts is criminal. Where's law enforcement? Okay, let's see how it works this time. This is how it's supposed to look. Let's see if it uploads. 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, the government's in control. We just deprive you of law enforcement. It's pretty incriminating. Yes, I was trying to speak with the police, the dark chief.
Okay, Miss Clark, you got the same person that you was just speaking with.
Ma'am, I don't have rights. I just want to speak with the police. I have to be violated and mistreated, and I'm not able to report crimes. I'm aware of that, even calling the police. So if you're refusing to take reports of criminal activity, I can't combat that. Am I allowed to speak with the police, or am I the chief, or can I not speak with him? Because I can't call the police, ma'am. I don't have those rights in this country. I can't report crimes.
Ms. Clark, I'm going to ask you the question that I asked you twice before in our last conversation. Have you spoken with anyone in our internal affairs department?
I was communicating with you. I have talked to internal affairs, and I tried to communicate.
Do you remember who you spoke with?
No, I spoke with the chief, and he said that he looked into it and then didn't really make sense. But nobody will tell me about the criminal trespass. He said I did. That's what the chief was investigating. I don't know what the truth is. Maybe
that's what I asked you previously. You keep saying that you spoke with the chief, so you've already spoken with the chief.
Right, but nobody will tell me on why I was arrested for trying to use transit.
So if this happened to you in 2019, what chief did you speak with? Because we've changed chiefs.
Can you tell me the name of the chief that you have?
Who did you speak with?
I don't remember. You tell me the name of the chief?
We have at least 3. We have 6. We have
the guy that's bald headed.
Addison. We have Wallace. We have had 6.
I think it may be Wallace. Does he have a bald head?
No.
Who has the bald head?
Was he African American or Caucasian, Hispanic?
He was white.
Tall, thin.
He was kind of heavy set.
Heavy set. Was he tall, short in height?
Just how heavy set and bald, older guy. The bottom line of it is...
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm going to transfer you to the secretary. If the chief is available to talk to you, she'll let you know.
She's available? I'm sure she's not, ma'am. As long as you can convince others that we are not racking up felonies that we should have got a long time ago for ourselves, then we have a chance of thousands of people not going to prison. We'll see how this goes.
I'm going to transfer you to the secretary.
Okay, thank you.
Clark, I'm going to transfer you. If you have to leave a message for somebody to call you back.
They don't call me back. I just, if I can...
Ma'am, I can only do so much. I can't make people answer the phone.
I know, but I'm asking to speak with someone because you don't want to help me. I would like to speak with someone since you won't help me.
Ms. Clark, I'm going to hang up on you again. You wanted to talk to the chief of police. I'm trying to get you to the chief of police. If they're not available to answer their phones, all I'm asking you to do is leave a message for them to return your call.
Okay, so I can get direction.
I'm transferring you, Miss Clark.
I don't have rights, ma'am. I have to be controlled and violated. Go ahead. It has to happen. It's happened for 10 years.
I have no control.
I know. Police department doesn't have control. Okay, ma'am. I have to accept things as it is. I don't have a badge and gun. I don't govern the country to enforce crimes. Go ahead, ma'am.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is how I was railroaded to be violated in the car the other day. It's my life. You will take it. I'll hang up in your face right now for calling the police department trying to report crimes. Don't get it. We will take your behind to jail because we are not good. I will put you out this car for wanting your order. I have paid too much money and set these people up to commit these crimes. Nobody will ever believe your story. No, when you are riding with me, you will not get the right order. Period. Or you can get out my car. You either take it or you take it.
Please leave a
Those are your choices to take it. We have badges and guns. You don't, so you take it.
For more options.
Hello, this is Kiana Clark. I don't know what's happening. I was told to leave you a message. I just wanted to know why I was given a criminal trespass for reporting crimes using transit. And I'm just kind of not certain on, unclear of why people haven't got countless felonies for years. If you can give me a call back. It won't call the number. Let's see if it does it. This is how they set up the counterfeit calls. Knowing you'd never believe my story. So for years when I'm trying to flee or get business taken care of, someone's on the other end closing windows, causing conflict, knowing that nobody would believe the government's this crooked. To have me pay for some phone services I can't get. Calls that they're controlling, forwarding to empty mailboxes, people stating that we've called you, it said the number's invalid. And then trying to cover for crimes. Multiple people, and then they try, nothing. So this is what I experienced. Let's see if it gives me the number. Then it's doing this. Then I can get more death threats. I'm going to have to re-record this. It won't let me open this until I started recording. It's hiding the phone number. That way they can set up the counterfeit call and the corruption. Now it's giving me the phone number after all this madness. Now this call is set up for to be fake.
Okay.
Yes, I have reported crimes to the Northern District Court and civil rights violations for multiple different parties. And I just wanted to get a follow-up of what the court did to protect me and my rights.
Okay, did you have a case with them?
No, I can give you my name.
Okay.
Yes. My question is, what did the court do to protect me and my rights? And when I informed the court that I was given a criminal trespass, bullied, violated, my backpack taken, and they scammed to keep me from the court, I would like to know what the court did to protect me and my rights. I showed the court the ticket that the party gave me. And then they scammed a criminal trespass to where I could not take care of any business that was critical there. Since it repeatedly kept happening, I would like to get down to the bottom of what the court did to protect me. If I'm showing the court tickets and telling them I can't get in the building, what did they do with that information?
So it looks like in the end, the case was dismissed on April 13th of 2020.
I'm not questioning. What's your name?
My name?
Yes.
Taylor.
Okay, and your position?
I'm a clerk.
And what did I call?
I'm sorry?
What did I call?
The U.S. District Court.
Where at?
Was this in Northern District of Texas? We're in Dallas.
Okay. So my question of it is, where do you report civil rights violations to?
Say that one more time.
Where do you report civil rights violations?
Where do you report them?
Yes.
I can't say for sure where you report them.
Well, what do you guys do then? What do you do at this court?
If you wanted to file a civil rights violation lawsuit in our court, that is something that we can assist you with.
Okay. So then you would report the civil rights violations to you. Okay. So when you get the civil rights violations, what do you do with them? Is it a crime to violate someone's civil rights?
I can't answer that question, ma'am.
As a court, let me make sure I understand. So as a court,
I'm not a lawyer, ma'am. So
I've had encountered this ever since I've been targeted. It seems like it's corruption. People are deliberately withholding information to not incriminate themselves or anyone else. If you're hiding what this court does, that's a clear-cut violation of my rights. Every citizen has a right to know what courts do and how courts protect them and their rights. And if you're withholding that, that's a red flag. That's indeed what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to hide how this court protects people and the reasoning behind the court and what their protocol is, then that's a red flag that you guys are doing something amiss. So if someone is reporting civil rights violations to you and you don't want them to know the consequences for ignoring them, that's a red flag. So there would be vital information that you not demand someone to get legal representation to know court protocols and policies. Why would multiple different courts withhold that information?
I'm not withholding anything from you. Our case is public, so if you wanted to come in and look at everything that was filed in your case.
I'm just calling for information, and each location year after year now withholds it and then has an alibi that I can't give you legal advice when I'm asking on court protocol because courts aren't following the protocol. Therefore, they don't want me to have that knowledge. So I don't know why you would try to withhold if someone's reporting civil rights violations. What is the court's protocol? That's not legal. Who would answer that question?
I can't answer on where to report it, but I can tell you our procedures on opening a new case.
Who would answer the question on court responsibilities when someone is reporting civil rights violations? I would like to know what the court protocol is. So who would be able to answer that question?
So we go based off of the local and federal rules of civil procedure.
Okay, if someone is indeed breaking the law, What does the court do?
That's going to be up to the judge.
Okay, so the judge has a responsibility if someone was indeed violating someone's civil rights. The judge has a responsibility on what happens after that.
So it's up to the judge's discretion on how the court case proceeds. We file the documents and we maintain the record. It's not.
Well, ma'am, when this was going on and countless government officials were racking up felonies, COVID happened, and then they didn't get their charges. And by the time COVID happened and everything was said and done, the court was bought off. And at first, I actually thought COVID was a scam with the government. But then it got escalated to such a big thing that I figured that, it just was, a series of events that were unfortunate. But if COVID wouldn't have happened, a lot of people would have got felonies. But by the time COVID was said and done, the court was bought off and controlled. So, ma'am, I can't combat the government. If I had wishes, if I felt that it was certain that I wouldn't be violated in another country, I'd definitely leave here. Because I'm not getting anywhere and their felonies are outrageous and, the corruption is extreme and your behavior is out of control as a government. It's just proven that it has been for several years. Okay, ma'am, I don't get law enforcement, and the Northern District Court covered up for multiple different felonies and dismissed my case as an alibi to cover for it and refuses to follow protocol like all other courts I come in contact with. You can't force.
Is there anything that I can do to help you today?
What would you do if someone's reporting crimes with a court? What's the proper protocol for getting law enforcement? Because I haven't got it in several years. How do you get it? Okay, go ahead. If you're calling government officials and they're hanging up in your face and setting you up to enforce crimes and listing people out in your environments to lie on you and slander you, they have manipulating your phone, locking you out on your balcony, and listing shelters to violate you and play mind games. I mean, how do you report abuse by the government? Because it didn't work with the Northern District Court, you cover for it. It didn't work at the FBI when I was getting handcuffed and violated.
Okay. So we have civil and criminal cases in our court, okay? If a member of the public comes to us with a civil case, we proceed with that and we can open it and we get criminal cases from the U.S. Attorney's Office. So we don't take criminal cases from the public.
But if I have close to 300...
If this is an issue of a criminal matter, you can speak with the U.S. Attorney's Office about bringing a federal criminal case. So we don't have the authority to do so.
What's the number to the U.S. Attorney's Office, ma'am?
Sure thing. Wait 1 second.
So coming in there, doing all this paperwork and, showing, exposing felonies and all kind of corruption and outrageous events, and you guys having tickets and evidence that I was being bullied and violated and obstruction of justice crimes were committed. What you chose to do with that is dismiss my case?
That was the judge's decision.
Okay. I don't get law enforcement, ma'am. Okay, what's the number you want me to call? I've already called them, but let's see what con they have, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, it is 214.
Okay.
659 8600.
So the judge dismissed my case because I didn't follow up?
Let me see.
Okay.
It was that the district judge accepted the findings, conclusions, and recommendation of the U.S. Magistrate Judge. The findings, conclusion, and recommendation of the U.S. Magistrate Judge is about 6 pages long and goes in depth as to why it was missed.
I saw online where it said that something about I did not follow up with a request that he was making. Did it now change? Because they do alter documents and charges are nowhere to be found. If I can't come in the building, there's clear-cut obstruction of justice and I can't get my records, then I can't get law enforcement. If they won't let me in the building and then documents alter, so it's impossible as it's supposed to be. So if he's demanding that I do something, and was he demanding I do, and then you won't tell me, and then I can't come in the building, so I'm trapped like I've been. So can you tell me what did he demand something that I couldn't furnish because I couldn't come in the building, or did the current documents alter like they've been doing 10 years?
It's about 6 pages, so I would have to read through it.
Oh, can you? Because I can't come in the building and people aren't getting felonies, ma'am.
Sure thing. Can you give me a moment?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So it's mind games. It's been like 30 minutes, and it's saying that it's 4 minutes remaining when it said an hour, and it just went up. I don't care.
That was put out. So what they're referencing is a notice of deficiency in order. Chairman Nicole Clark must address the following deficiency. Clark's complaint contains factual allegations stretching over an extended period of time against numerous facially distinct defendants, including a state court, Hill County, Texas, and an individual in Baton Rouge. To remedy this deficiency, court orders Clark to file by 9/23/2019 an amended complaint or more than one amended complaint to the extent that the defendants who she alleges harmed her cannot be joined in a single action consistent with Rule 20A. Failure to comply with this order may lead to dismissal for failure to prosecute pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 41B.
Okay, how was I supposed to file it?
Okay, this is what the recommendation said.
Would it be impossible to file it if I can't get in the building? In that clear-cut obstruction of justice? Slandering someone and scheming a criminal?
We do accept pleadings by mail.
I can't. I don't have rights to postal. I can't use the mail service. That's why I don't want to live in this country. I have tried to mail things to court, and my mail's returned, and you guys they don't get it, and no one's getting charges. So I don't have rights that other people. I can't use the postal service. So your requests are impossible if I can't get in the building, and I think the government is aware of that. So if the Northern District Court saying it's true and factual events, why are random people that in my environment trying to frame me with mental illness? And why can't they see that when they're illegally stalking me and countless gang stalking people haven't had a consequences? If she checking me out and it says that these are true and factual events, how is it that she didn't see that? I think that is supposed to be impossible, but it's just proven to others that this criminal activity is indeed what's happening. With that, but I don't know how many accomplices and federal charges. So, ma'am, I don't know what to do. I'm just being denied law enforcement for several years. I'm just trying to prove that that's what repeatedly is happening. It was impossible for me to meet the court standard if I can't come into the court. And I reported that to the judge and gave them evidence of tickets. Was anybody disciplined by giving me tickets for trying to check on my case? And I reported those violations to the court. The same person that handcuffed me at the FBI for trying to report crimes, Joseph, and the person that violated me at the West End before it started getting guarded at Fort Knox. I'm not quite certain why he was at the West End stalking me and haven't had charges. Homeland Security.
I don't know. I can't speak on any of those instances. I don't know.
Do you have Homeland Security that guards buildings?
There are different security personnel within the building, but they're not managed by us, the building.
I'm just not quite certain on why people just really don't have the answers and haven't got charges. Because some of them are required to have answers and won't supply them for me. It's imperative if the court knew that I was given tickets and they saw evidence of the tickets and know that I was given in criminal trespasses and they're in cahoots with that, they're in cahoots with charges. The court's responsibility is if they're seeing notice in criminal activity, it's criminal not to report that. So the court saying, I don't know, is criminal.
Ma'am, I can only tell you what happened in the case and tell you what documents were filed and what the judge said. That's all I can speak on.
Well, there's a problem because people aren't doing their mandatory reporting, and I have a right for my case to have answers. And depriving someone of answers in a lot of these situations is criminal, and it's a violation of my rights. So, repeatedly telling me over and over that they don't have answers for outrageous events, there's people responsible, and for me being locked in hotel rooms and all this kind of different things that no one has the answers and don't seem to be trying to get them. This is just out of control, and that no one has the answers for all this insanity, and they're using that as an alibi to continue to get away with crimes and charges that that should have been rendered a long time ago. So I'm asking what the court did to protect me. I have a right to know what the court did to protect me, and I couldn't get access to the court.
Ma'am,
Why
you
the
are
court?
more than welcome to re-urge this with the court. Other than that, I don't know.
Who was the judge that did it? Was fully aware that I couldn't get in the court, and then deprive me of my rights and cover for people that wouldn't let me appear at court.
It was Judge Godby and Magistrate Judge Haram.
Okay, so don't you have a responsibility if you're looking at files and you're hearing this to report corruption, to not have a don't in their mandatory reporting, or you get charged?
I just read you the orders that were in your case.
But if you have education and knowledge of corruption, if you have in your database tickets that I received for trying to appear at court, and then all these armies full of people are covering up for felonies, don't that make you in cahoots with it if you're not reporting it to anyone? Because I'm not getting anything done for reporting felonies that government officials keep racking up year after year. In some kind of way, all these people I'm reporting crimes are the gatekeepers, and they enforce crimes on me, which I thought was criminal. But they keep on using as an alibi. I don't know. I'm going to disconnect. It's your fault for crimes that I'm committing, which is narcissistic and criminal. But yet they haven't got charges. So each direction I take, all these racked up felonies, I'm being forced to endure outrageous criminal activity because people aren't doing their job process and aren't abiding by the law. And they're playing mind games to enforce crimes on me repeatedly over and over, year after year. If the gatekeepers are hanging up in my face, if I can't report to the police department crimes, if police are coming to hotel rooms and courts are covering for it, and all these attorneys everywhere I'm at, churches, family members, it gets me nowhere. I'm just trying to prove it's happening. Is there a particular reason why multiple different parties aren't doing the mandatory reporting, even though it's a crime?
Ma'am.
I'm just trying. It's obvious that I'm not law enforcement, but I'm just questioning why people are risking their freedom to, like the lady that was arrested for destroying records. Why would you go to jail? What interest do people have in not doing their mandatory reporting? Why would they risk going to prison?
We are not law enforcement.
But I'm not being heard. There's mandatory reporting. If you're a government official and you work for the courts and you see misconduct and criminal activity, it is a crime not to report that. Now, I'm just curious on why our countless people are witnessing all kind of felonies and aren't doing their job, task, and responsibility of reporting it, and then keep on using as an alibi, I don't know, to not get charges repeatedly over and over, year after year. So if I'm going to this toxic system that's governing other parties, the government is enforcing crimes now, then how do you combat a government that's not being put under control for numerous felonies? And then blaming the party that racking up felonies for their criminal activity and their inability to abide by the law. If you're going up and down the road, patrolling up and down the road, enforcing crimes, and nobody will put you under control, who would want to live with a government system like that? Enlisting churches and mind games and all kind of other felonies.
Well, you are more than welcome to make a report to the U.S. Attorney's Office or any other agency that you wish.
I've already made it with you, and then you guys are covering for the fact they wouldn't let me in the building to cover up for crimes that they repeatedly keep committing. And then you had evidence of it, the tickets, and, me telling you that I had a criminal trespass in the scheme. They don't know why they did it. All I know is I came in trying to check on my case. They took my backpack in the scheme. My device covered for it and muffled the sound. My device knew that I was about to get violated, and the police department comes to cover for that too. So they
That's
immediately demanded
the
my
agency
backpack,
that
and I didn't know
that
these
would be
people.
with the agency
This is why I
that
can't get anything accomplished, because each time I'm reporting crimes, I'm interrupted. They got to hang up, they got to deflect, they got to distract 10 years. What you're demanding is impossible if I can't get in the building and they scam to take my backpack at the Northern District, at the the federal building on Commerce. They immediately knew they had to scam to keep me away from that court, so they took my backpack in the scheme, my phone covered for it. Then they had this con about a criminal trespass for me coming in the building on camera footage. I'm not quite certain how to come in a building when you where you have an extra active case, is a threat. But me just simply walking in the building, they demanded my backpack and gave me a criminal trespass just because I came into a building where I had an active case against this man and all his accomplices. So obviously, year
I don't
after
have any
year,
control
phone
over that.
call after that's what I'm saying. You do have control if it's a court, and I'm informing the court I can't come in the building. It's your responsibility to have control over that and report misconduct
I
and
don't
criminal
have control
activity.
over
If
what
I'm
you're allowed
reporting
to
to the
build.
court, I can't check on my case. The court does have control over that and obligations to not commit the crime of obstruction of justice. So
Well,
what you're
that's what you
saying
can
is
bring up
not
to the
really
judge, ma'am.
correct. The judge does
That's something
have.
that needs to be brought up to the judge.
Well, I can't bring it up to the judge if I can't come in the building and I'm informing you and can't tell you. You're saying you don't have control over that to cover for it. It's a catch-22 that leaves me stuck in problems. If I can, that's obstruction of justice. If I have a case and they taking my backpack in the scheme to obstruct justice and keep me from checking on my case. And if the
Ma'am, is
judge
there anything
knows
else I
that,
can do for
and
you
then
today?
you guys are saying that you don't have anything to do with that, which you do, blatant lies to conceal their crimes. If I'm telling the court I can't get in to check on my case, and you're the gatekeeper, and then won't report it to anyone, and then I can't get in, can't mail, and then no one is calling me back, can I leave a message for the judge? Can I leave a message to his representative since you're covering for it and not following the law of your mandatory reporting?
You're more than welcome to call the chambers if you would like. Their number's on our website.
I'm on the line with you, and I thought I just called it. I thought I just called it.
Over.
Okay, what's the number?
I can't transfer you over.
I thought I just called it. There's a disconnect.
This is not the judge's chambers. This is the clerk's office.
And you're unwilling. I can't get it on my phone. I've already thought I did that, and I got you. Why would you withhold that from me? Can you get it, please for me?
I cannot transfer you over.
Okay, can you get the number? Because I can't get it on my own. I'm not being heard. I thought I already called it, is the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's that number?
Okay, it's going to be 214.
Okay.
753 2700.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Chambers.
Yes, I was instructed to call over here to this the judge chambers to get direction on a case. I had a court case, and the people security committed a crime to keep me from checking on my case, obstructing justice. They gave me a criminal trespass and tickets, and I reported that to the judge. And I wanted to know what he did.
Well, let's start. Do you have a case number?
Let me give you my name. What's your name, ma'am, too?
I'm Donna Byer. I'm Judge Godby's judicial assistant.
Okay. My name. You have to see if you can find it.
Yes, ma'am. We have thousands of cases, and I'm not finding it like that.
That's peculiar because do courts have a right to see if they can find cases repeatedly over and over?
Ma'am, we go by case number.
I'm just curious because it's a pattern for me. So now courts can lose cases?
Well,
is that legal?
Would you like me to explain, or do you want to keep talking?
I feel like I'm being gaslit, ma'am. I don't understand why I can't get a simple question answered, and then people are getting upset with me.
Because you're not listening. If you listen, you might learn something.
I feel like I'm being gaslit. I just have a question.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
That's how they get away with charges. I'm not going to talk to you. Stage conflicts like family members. That's why I'm not in your life. I don't know why. Whatever lie I can come up with. If someone's saying people are deliberately staging conflict to keep me in problems, you'd have to prove it repeatedly keeps happening. I'm not in your life. I don't really. You borrowed money from me 6 years ago. What are you talking about? My son just said, forget it. He's mad at me after I got out of jail on false charges and don't know why. I hadn't even talked to him. But some kind of way he's furious that my last false arrest and won't even talk to me, period. It's not an accident. I didn't force these crimes.
You have reached the chambers of Chief Judge David C. Godby. We are not available to take your call at this time. Please leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, I was disconnected. I think that you guys are taking bribes. I think that this is a deliberate scheme to obstruct justice, which is criminal. I think that you hung up in my face, whoever that was. I think you hung up in my face and then said you didn't see my case out of corruption. And then when I asked you if multiple different courts can lie and slander and say they don't see my case to not get held accountable for for crimes they chose to commit, if that was criminal, then you wanted to slander me and hang up as an alibi for obstructing justice and keeping me from knowledge of what was going on with my case. Since it repeatedly keeps happening over and over, I used to be in tears, and I realize that you guys are trying to conceal crimes that you cover up for crimes that you committed. I realize it's deliberate, a mind game. But here's the thing: when is someone going to put you under control for your countless felonies? Nonetheless, whatever game, it's obvious that I'm deprived of law enforcement, but if I could be treated like a citizen like I'm supposed to, I would like to give you my number to call back, but I realize it hasn't happened in over a decade. My contact, it won't call this attorney. They have to set up the fake call.
Buenos días, hablas con Fernando del despacho Sánchez García. ¿Con quién te gusta hablar el día de hoy? ¿Cómo te puedo ayudar?
Oh, this is peculiar. This happens to me all the time. Do you know English by any chance?
Yes, hi ma'am. My name is Fernando from Sánchez García Law Firm. Tell me, how can I help you today?
What is it? Is this a law firm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you a paralegal?
No, I'm one of the representatives of the law firm, so I'm the one who recollects the information to show the appointment with one of our attorneys. So what is the reason you are calling, ma'am?
Okay, I wanted to get clarity because ever since I've been targeted, my legal representation has been bizarre. Now you don't speak with legal representation. I mean, anyone that a paralegal or no one that has knowledge of the justice system, period, it's impossible. And my calls have not been returned for almost a decade. And each party that I call for 10 years has been trying to conspire with crimes and cover up. So before I invest into this, getting legal representation from this law firm, I'd like to know if you can answer a question. Is it okay if a court loses someone's case that's in jail on false charges?
Okay. I got a question. What is your name, ma'am?
You don't want me to know that? I would like to know that if you have that knowledge before I give you all my information, because I'm not sure you would be effectively able to represent me if you're not able to answer that question.
Yes, actually, I'm not the one who is able to answer that question because, as I mentioned before, I'm one of the representatives.
I've been calling for 10 years and no one calls me back, but I can leave my number. So is someone available now? Do they have to call me back? What's the policy?
No, actually it doesn't work like that. I'm going to explain you how it works, ma'am. Okay, as soon as you call and you give me like the whole information and what are the kind of questions that you have, we need to see maybe we are able to answer your questions because we take care of immigration, criminal, and family cases. So it depends on the kind of inquiry that you have, and we are going to show the appointment with one of our attorneys. So that's why I just asked you for your name just to call you by your name, but
I just want to leave my number, sir. You've heard my situation that I had a criminal case, and I like for an attorney to call me back that has expertise. I waste a lot of time, sir. So can you just have an attorney call me back?
No, but actually, as I mentioned before, we need more. We need more than that. We need more information, like more information.
Okay, well,
to
this
show
is
the
not going to be a good
prosecution.
fit because I've been getting my will spent years. I don't feel like being violated and having to repeat myself over and over to get nowhere. I don't want to repeatedly being controlled and enforce crimes and force timing. I'm paying you guys, and I want it under my terms if I'm paying you. I want an attorney to call me back. It's a criminal case with corruption. And if you're unwilling to have an attorney call me back under those pretenses, I'll call somewhere else and get violated. Okay, thank you. It wasn't recording. So I want you to show that my search results are indeed controlled. These are all the attorneys in Dallas. I can't scroll anymore. So these are the crooked people that they allow me to communicate with. If you control my phone, nobody knowing that now since I'm recording, it's giving me more options. If someone is saying that someone is controlling my search results, you know that's too bizarre and mentally insane until you see it. This is why I can't get legal representation. They're controlling my phone to keep me from phone calls and controlling what I see on my devices, knowing that you never believe my story. So let's try this group. This is a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. They got to set up the fake call, knowing you wouldn't believe it. So I got to get permission to use the device. And like I said in the past, they just knock at the door when I was doing this from nowhere. And scheme and arrest because they're furious that I'm exposing their crimes. That's how you build up 20-something false arrests. Scam, come to bus stops, restaurants. Been out of control. Who's going to govern the government? Apparently no one at this point. I haven't seen it. I'm still going through it. So apparently I'm not approved to make this call. Let me go on to another one. The window closed on its own to buy more time. It's annoying. It's time I stopped recording, it closed, so I have to go back in. Then it changed. It didn't want that up there. It wanted to waste more time. I was typing criminal attorneys. Now we gotta wait until I got my device. Well, it started recording. It won't call again. It's not isolated. Years of this. And I tried to call the police and they keep covering for it. Let's see if it lets me if everything has to be hard. Calling shelters. They don't play games with legal representation. I just want you to see what I've been going through. Okay. Will they let me call anyone? They won't. They don't want me calling. And they don't want me having the numbers. Okay. They're letting me call this person, I assume. Okay, let's see how this goes. They have to approve my legal representation. People I'm trying to fight have to approve who I come and communicate with. The churches I go to, they have to control it and approve it. And control and approve family members. Oh, something went wrong. Snap. It's not approved for me to call it on my brand new device. Something went wrong for 10 years plus. They cut the data off again. They're not playing games. We're going to jail. Okay. Well, they've made up their mind on the attorneys that they will allow me to speak with. Oh, I guess they did. Let me go on. I can't talk to that one. Let's see if I can talk to this one. They don't want me talking to that one. Let's see if this one. Okay. So it's a problem when I'm in jail on false charges because I can't use the phone. Okay, they approve this one. Let's see how this goes. I can't use the phone. They disable the system to my PIN to use the phone. And demand that I use their public defender to not go to prison.
This call is being recorded.
Hello,
Okay.
good morning. Welcome to the Texas Criminal Defense Group. My name is Glennie. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
My name is Kiana. Do you have are you a paralegal?
No, ma'am. Would you like to speak with a paralegal? Let me go ahead and transfer the call.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. You are a current client of ours, ma'am?
Yes, I'd like to speak with a paralegal.
Okay, perfect. 1 moment.
Okay.
You have reached is not
They don't
available.
call me back.
Please leave a message
It's
after
not on
the
accident.
tone.
So I tried something else. Now they have to control this. So since they were playing games with the criminal attorney, I put in civil rights attorneys, and they have to control the attorneys that I use, so I have to wait till they assign my legal representation. That way they don't get their felonies. So I have to wait when they choose my attorneys again. I've tried letting people that have racked up felonies get my legal representation, choose it. It just doesn't really seem to work year after year. So it's obvious that I don't have rights, but I think that would be common sense that you people that you're trying to get defense against, you don't want them choosing your legal representation. You don't want someone that's violating you, committing crimes to stalk you and all that, controlling who represents you. But yet I'm repeatedly not heard. So nonetheless, let's see who they get set up for legal representation this time. Okay, this is who they'll allow me to speak with. They've made their decision. So let's call it. So it glitched. I was trying to go back to it, and then it brought this up on its own. Yes. Are you paralegal?
I understand the confusion. I'm not a paralegal.
I'm not quite understanding.
Ryan Jenkins.
Okay, I'm confused. I said, are you a paralegal? And you said, I understand the confusion? I'm not confused.
I apologize for any misunderstanding. Thank you for clarifying. I'm here to assist you. How can I help you today?
I'm confused. Okay, so you're a civil rights law firm?
I'm with Longcar Lyon Jenkins, a personal injury law firm that helps people just like you after accidents. How can I assist you today?
Is this an actual person or automated system?
I work for Longcar Lyon Jenkins, a personal injury law firm. I'm here to help you with any questions or concerns you may have regarding your accident. How can I assist you today?
Sounds like a mind game that people need felonies for. This is bizarre. Because I know one attorney said she was going to call mental health people out for me trying to hire them. I think that this is a scam and you guys need your charges. This is bizarre that you can't pay someone 10 years to help people get felonies, government officials, countless that they chose to rack up. To the degree of where they're hacking someone's device, have them lock them out of apartments so they can be slandered with mental illness. If you are enlisting someone to come in someone's living environment to steal petty things so you don't go to prison, that's serious. And do bizarre things so you can use that as an alibi for them to be mentally ill so you don't go to prison and then hack their devices year after year with no accountability, that's serious and people should have been in jail a long time ago. But I can't seem to help people realize that for something to be done. I think it sounds like you're playing mind games that are sadistic and sick, like you guys are being controlled by a narcissist. Your behavior is bizarre for someone trying to pay you for legal representation. Let me call someone else, my device approved for me to speak with you. But you sound bizarre, like a horror movie. Now, I'm here to help you, and how can it sounds scripted and unusual. Nonetheless, ma'am, let me see who else my device will let me call. It called back. I hung up and it just called him back.
If you are a new client or looking for a free consultation, press 1.
I just tried to hang up the call and it demanded that I speak to this law firm, and this device is trying to cover it up and blur it out so you can't see it.
Thank you for calling Launch.
They have to scam another false arrest. That's how the government handles their being upset. They just take my freedom repeatedly over and over and then lose the false arrest and all information and deprive me of my constitutional right to appear because they don't have their life straight. They just blame it on her being mentally ill. We can't let her be here. It's too many felonies. It's not blame it on her. Narcissistic. It's her fault why we don't let her go to court. It's her fault why we put her in maximum security and don't know why. We don't know why we had to wait 3 weeks. They were letting everybody else transfer into the unit. We don't know why you had to wait. I know, because you had to set up this car out of this tank knowing nobody would believe my story. That way you could put me in isolation, bully me, and list inmates to threaten me and do all kind of other bizarre things and get away with it. That's why I had to wait 3 weeks while other inmates were being transferred to Del Valley. You had to put me in a counterfeit tank for mentally ill people. And then when people heard my story, they would always be accomplices. And then, like other people, they give you like legal information. Like you tell somebody what they're going through, and then they say so and so, so and so. All the inmates around me, I don't know. But I hear them tell other people that, no, they're supposed to have this. They got to, you have to, 90 days before this could happen. They lie to me. All these bizarre inmates. I would hear them giving other people legal knowledge. And then when it came to me, I don't know. Just like these phone calls. You just got to prove it repeatedly keeps happening. So on this brand new device, I'm getting text messages. I don't know what this is. Nobody has this number on this brand new device. 11 unread messages. I just got my number changed. My device is covering for it. Harassment, trying to watch the movie on this brand new device. Yet felonies are nowhere to be found. These are all the unread messages. 7 right here for that date. I was trying to go to bed, and they said that it was my chart that was contacting somebody at 1 a.m. disturbing them while they were trying to sleep. This has been a pattern for years, and I'm just trying to prove it. Let's see if it'll show the times. So they're trying to conceal it, but these don't match. 9:48, 9:50, 9:55. But it's saying 10:05 right here. Look at the times. Why would my chart contact someone and harass them while they're trying to sleep 2 minutes apart right there? 2 minutes apart, all that in a row? And then these times don't match, and it keeps going off. On my brand new phone, I've already had a number change to get nowhere for all these years. Track phone to complete a short survey to get okay. So this is bizarre. If I just call them and then they've given me this information, this isn't the number I provided on this new phone. I don't know what's happening. I'm just trying to show this is manipulated, and there are felonies that are due, that have been due years. I have to take control, and then immediately when I got my device, so it's pulling up past locations I already had in my device, Dallas, and it switched up on its own. So all the viewers can know where I used to live. But if I had in Dallas, why is it now another location? So let me put in Dallas again, because my device is messy. Let's try it this way. Let's try this in Dallas. Since they're playing games with me trying to pay someone to represent me, let's try civil rights organizations to see where we can get with this. They have to create conflict, so we have to wait. Okay, let's try this. They won't let me call it, and so they set up the fake call. So I have to dial the number. They want me to be inconvenienced on my own device. They have the power, I don't. So I'm trying to click on this to get the number and can't. Sky's the limit for felonies. Prove we're doing it. Dallas. So my device don't want me having the number for a human rights initiative. I don't know what's happening here. So this is probably the attorney Lofts that gave me the problem. It looks like that number. Let's try it again. They're trying to be funny.
Hi, Communities Foundation of Texas. How can I help you today?
Yes, I'm sorry. What do you do there?
We are a nonprofit that helps fund other various nonprofits.
Okay, so you fund nonprofits, and what's the name of your organization?
This is Communities Foundation of Texas.
Okay, my device is glitching. Okay, and I'm sorry, I clicked a number, a foundation, and then your number came up on its own. Human Rights Initiative of North Texas? Is that what you are?
Yeah. No, we're Communities Foundation of Texas. So very similar in name, but a different organization.
Well, what's bizarre is I put in a 214-750-4222 number, but it didn't want me calling that number. I dialed that number in my phone, And then I tried to hit the Human Rights Initiative of North Texas, and then it glitched and dialed another number I didn't ask it for it to call. But nonetheless, and it wanted me to call someone that don't help with civil rights violations. You fund other nonprofit organizations. That's all you do, and you're listed online.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're listed, and what's the name of your organization again?
This is Communities Foundation of Texas. We work with over 3,000 nonprofits in the North Texas area.
Okay, I'm sorry. Community what?
Just help them.
Community what?
Communities Foundation.
Okay, one moment. I just get the run around. My device likes to play mind games. I'm trying to prove it. So let me look up your organization. I didn't put your organization in my phone, but it called to keep me from calling another organization. I tried to call the police department to report experiences like this, but they covered for it and was rude and tried to enlist Starbucks to give me a criminal trespass. One moment, ma'am. Let me look up your foundation. Are you unwilling to help, ma'am? Are you unwilling to hold, ma'am? Because I asked you to hold one moment, and then are you unwilling to hold like I asked?
I'm just trying to provide additional details.
But if I'm asking you to hold, then that wouldn't be the best time. Are you unwilling to hold like I asked you to do just for 1 minute? This is bizarre, ma'am. If you are unwilling to hold, you can let me know. But I said, are you unwilling to hold? You said yes, and then wouldn't hold. Can you tell me your location, ma'am? Because my device called you on its own. Ma'am, this is bizarre to experience this year after year.
Communities Foundation of Texas. Okay.
Where are you located?
Communities Foundation of Texas. We are located at 5500 Caruth Haven Lane here in Dallas.
Okay. One moment, because my device called you on its own, ma'am. Just one moment. Can you hold? Do you mind holding like I've asked you multiple different times? I don't think it's funny, ma'am. This is abusive.
Ma'am, I have no control over what your device has called.
But I did ask you to hold. You do have control on your refusal to hold for a moment? Because I get treated like this for years, ma'am. Is there a particular reason why when I asked you to hold, you said okay, and then you kept talking? I can't get anything to write down vital information with if you're refusing to hold. I'd like to step away from the phone and get some writing material to be able to look up your phone, write down things regarding your organization. But this is bizarre if you're refusing to hold while I get that needed, writing utensils.
The entire duration I have been holding.
Okay, but I said, can you hold? And then you started talking. I didn't want to be rude, ma'am. And then I asked you if you could hold, and then you started laughing. That's rude. I don't want to be rude. So when I said, can you hold? And then you started talking after you said yes. Then I came back to my phone without, finishing what I was doing. And then you laughed because of your refusal to hold. I didn't want to be rude. But I get treated like this for years. It's bizarre. Thank you. So if you don't mind, I'll put you on hold. But I wanted to confirm that you indeed didn't mind because you would not hold, which is unusual. So she put me on hold. So this is how you get violated on your devices. You there, ma'am? She didn't say she was going to hold.
I'm holding.
Okay. You didn't tell me you were putting me on hold, ma'am?
I am still on the line. I am still holding as you requested.
I don't know why my device is doing this.
Your cell phone provider would be the best.
Oh, no, I'm just having issues. Device. I'm just saying, I'm talking to myself. I did ask you to hold.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just hoping I'm having issues with my device. Well, I did ask you to hold, and people start arguments when they're supposed to be on hold. It's a pattern.
Ma'am, I'm not starting an argument.
Ma'am, you're on hold, ma'am. You're on hold, ma'am. I'm not talking.
Okay.
Can I just put you on mute for a second, ma'am? Let me put you on mute. It's sick. Okay, ma'am. So, it is what it is, ma'am. So this communication was bizarre. So you're saying that you don't help outside sources, you just fund other nonprofits.
Yes, ma'am. We have a variety of scholarships, but that would be the only other kind of way or program that we would have that helps individuals.
Well, I've been through this for years, and I'm not quite certain on why my device demanded that I talk to you to waste my time and get nowhere when I dialed another number and tried to call another location. But I'm just deprived of law enforcement, which I was trying to talk to myself and say that. Then you interrupted that like multiple armies of other parties do when they're supposed to be on hold or have put me on hold. You just have to prove it repeatedly keeps happening. So I guess this was a fruitless call. My device wanted to waste time and had me call a number, then deprived me of access to my device, the data, and no charges have been nowhere to be found, ma'am. You just got to prove you experience things like this. Okay, ma'am, it's been a headache for 10 years, but nothing's been done. When they get frustrated, they just cut the data off. Were you saying something, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. If you're trying to reach a particular organization, there is a website called findhelp.org that has the most updated kind of phone numbers, emails for all of the nonprofits in kind of the Texas area.
Well, I don't know how much the benefit it'll take if people are conspiring with abuse and know you before you call, and then your data gets cut off and you can't place calls and can't get your calls. I just haven't really been able to get anywhere for an extended amount of time. So, okay, ma'am, the data's cut off. They've done it years. They didn't like what I was looking up. So let me try to place another call, ma'am. My device demanded that I talk to you to get nowhere. Okay, bye, ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
So now they don't answer the phone with the con.
Thank you for calling Communities Foundation of Texas. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It will be returned.
Otherwise, your call will be returned at the start of the next business day.
Years.
Thank
It's
you.
not isolated. They don't call me back. And we got this madness over here with another upload. They just don't want to talk about it now. No estimated time. That's the time right there. Forget it. We're not controlling your devices like my gang stalking friend said. Just take medication. Now that they've been caught, now they're giving me a time shutting off everything that they can to conceal crimes.
Of North Texas. For English, please press 1.
New cases for asylum nor immigrant victims of crime or domestic violence. You are encouraged to reach out to other providers or immigration lawyers if you have a time-sensitive matter. Please
Human
check
Rights
back
Initiative.
with us in September.
I pressed 0 and it hung up when I called Human Rights Initiative. My device, I thought I started recording, does not play games with fleeing abuse, period, for some reason. And it'll just hang up the call and counterfeit calls for years and not get felonies.
Thank you for calling Human Rights Initiative of North Texas.
It's full. Everything's full all over the United States for domestic
If
violence.
you're a current or former HRI client, press 2. Your matter. For all other calls, please press 0 and leave a message with details.
So it said that it wouldn't help you with criminal.